Hi everyone. Once again, my name is Olajumoke Toriola. From Ashem Limited. Microsoft MVP on the Office app and services space. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm super glad to be here. So from wherever you're joining, welcome to Teams Nation. Okay, so let's get started. You can actually connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter, and then I have a YouTube channel that you can actually also subscribe to. So for the agenda for today, I'm just going to go through the agenda for today, and then so can you? I just want to find out again because I think I'm having some issues here with some of my slides. If you guys can see. Uh, okay, perfect. All right. So with my agenda is Microsoft. For today, I have Microsoft Teams overview. I know every one of us here on this call already knows what Microsoft Teams is, but I'm just going to touch it a bit. Okay, so if you were in the keynote session, you will hear a lot of things that has been that was spoken about Microsoft 365 roadmap. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to spend a little bit of time with us to talk about those things that are launched, those things that are being rolled out, and then are also in development, as specifically to Microsoft Teams meeting. So there's a lot of features that are being shared right now on Microsoft Teams. But to be honest, I just want to be more specific on the Teams meeting because we've seen that regarding Teams, the meeting, a lot of us are using it, and because of the pandemic where we find ourselves today, the shift from office to home, that we are also, a lot of people are more engaged with Microsoft Teams meeting and all of that. So that's why I decided to just focus on showing what are those fantastic features we can actually get out from the Teams meeting. And then because I think I have very fantastic audience here, I'm actually going to make it so real that we all can. A second thought of it, I just started. I'm going to make it real, and I'm going to make all the audience also participate in it. So that we can feel a lot of these updates. So now, Microsoft Teams, we all know, is the hub for Teams collaboration in Microsoft 365, and it integrates the people, the content, the tools. Your Teams needs to be more engaging and then productive. Microsoft Teams simply is the productivity platform from meeting to chat and collaboration. So first, while I say from meeting, first and foremost, Teams enable a rich online meetings experience. You can actually reduce email clutters by chatting with one or more colleagues with rich messaging experience with Microsoft Teams chat. And then you can collaborate seamlessly with your team members on shared documents that are backed up by SharePoint with the ability to co-author directly from those documents without ever leaving Teams. And lastly, Teams replaces the need for desktop phones. You can now make and receive audio or video calls together with the support of voicemail, including voicemail transcription for convenience. So in a brief description, in a brief summary, that is what Microsoft Teams is. And then going forward, I want to talk a bit about some of the new cool features that are in Microsoft Teams. So like I said, there are dozens of apps and features that have come into the Microsoft 365 roadmap. and it can also be very challenging for you to keep up to it, even as they're coming. But you can always visit the Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 roadmap for more information, because at the end of this session, I put some reference sites for you that you can actually see that. And then the cool thing about it is that the Microsoft 365 roadmap is actually created to help us to plan, to communicate changes, and then take full advantage of Microsoft 365 subscription and some of those updates that comes with it. Now, one of the cool things I want to do today, like I said, is to focus more on Microsoft things meeting. And then some of those features, we're going to be looking at features that are launched, features that are available to applicable customers, features that are being rolled out, that is feature that is beginning to roll out, to applicable customers, and those that are also in development. So that's what my agenda says, and that's what I'm going to be looking at. So moving on to what is launched. Now, the very first thing I want to talk about is the new Together mode. Now, the Together mode came out sometime last year, late calendar year last year in October. The Together mode uses an AI segmentation technology, really. And then what happens is that you can actually make it feel like you're sitting in the same room with everyone else. Now, with the AI segmentation technology now improving it, you can actually change your scene coming in January 2021, beginning of this year. Together mode now makes it more closer, so you can actually change scene from one place to the other, while you are in your Together mode. So what I want to do right now is that why I show you what Together mode does. One of the cool things that you can see is that you can actually bring everyone together from wherever they are, and then it makes you feel as if you're connected to them. And then you can actually share contents, and then while you share content, you can change your scene to meet whatever you are doing. You can put up your scene to be an auditorium, a conference, or even a room or a coffee shop, just to suit you. So yes, we've looked at that. I'm just going to do a bit of something. I guess one of the things, I'm just going to try to share my desktop once again, because I want to show us how that Together mode works. So you can see the Together mode you can see with some of my colleagues, very cool. And then you can see with some of my colleagues, this is the Together mode that I've enabled. Colleagues can go from one session to the other. We can actually change or change the scene from one scene to the other. You can change scene as you want, So this is very cool. And then one of the cool things I'm doing right now is that I'm actually joining this. You see that this is another feature that is actually coming to Microsoft Teams. What I'm doing right now, Together mode, is actually coming on Edge and Chrome. So if you can see, I'm in a meeting joined on my Chrome browser, and then the Together mode is actually enabled there. So you can just, you don't need to be it's not compulsory that all the time you have to be on your desktop app, but you can just go to your Microsoft Teams, and then from there you can, on your browser, you can just open your Teams.Microsoft on your browser, and then you can enjoy the rich feature of the Together mode and all of that. So back to my session. What I'm going to do again, thank you guys for that. So I'm just going to run through this real fast. Okay. All right. So that's Together mode. Now, the next session is on the AI-based noise suppression. So what we're looking at is that sometime last year, Microsoft reduced the real-time noise suppression into Microsoft Teams. Sometimes in November, this feature will automatically remove unwelcome background noise during a meeting. Now, because it is AI-based, the way it works now is that it analyzes your individual audio feeds, and then using specially trained deep neural networks, it filters out the noise and retain only the speech signal. Now, one of the things I think I was asking when we started is that, do you know how to enable your the noise features? And I think I did that with some of the guys. So let me see again if I can show you that. So when you go to device setting, so I'm going to show you that real fast. So when you go to this device setting, you can see that you have the noise suppression here. So all you just need to do is to, now because I add my device setting, but if you show your device setting for any meeting, you can actually enable your noise suppression. The default is actually auto, and then you have the high, the low, and the off. So the high option is the one that is introduced for you to be able to, it gives you the best, how will I put it? It gives you the best experience so far, but then it is set to auto. So you can actually enable, just make sure that the noise suppression is enabled yet. And with that, it will help to reduce the noise. So that's the cool one there. So I'm just going to also do this, try to show you how that works. So with the noise suppression, you can see, like I said, you have the I, and then so great. So what I'm going to do again is, like, I'm going to have to reshare, because one of the things that I see that I missed there is trying to the voice. I want to enable my voice. I think missed out on that, just to enable my computer voice.
Sound, yes.
Yes, that was the sound. That's actually no sound. All right, great. I think the reason was because when I was asked to show the PowerPoint live, I forgot to turn that on. So yes, we're going to look at the PowerPoints. Like, I knew one of us asked for that, so I'm just going to replay these, and then you're going to see how to use it. So just turn on the settings, and from the settings, you're going to see how to do the noise suppression.
I'm still working from my apartment, and while it can be challenging at times sharing a space with my roommate, I love the fact that I save an hour each day from my commute to the office.
Yeah, a lot of my colleagues are starting to work back in the office. I think they just find it a quieter environment. And hey, there's really good parking right now.
So I got an email from the GM last week about the new work from home policy for next year.
Okay, so that's great. So the next thing I want to talk about, the next features that is to Microsoft Teams meeting is Teams chat bubbles. So sometimes it's easy for you to miss out on chats, probably maybe when you are, messages that are posted during a meeting by participants, especially if you do not have the meetings pane open. So one of the cool things now with the chat bubbles is that you can get to see all of that while the meeting is going on. So with the chat bubbles, you can stay focused on the content that is being shared in full screen mode. And you can also stay tuned into the chat conversation, and that will appear at the at the topmost end, topmost end of the screen. And then you can see all of the history at the end of the day if you still want to look at that. So that's one of the cool things with the Teams chat bubbles. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about will be on the Meet Now from Outlook. So I don't know how many of us is also aware of these features right now. So if you look at your Outlook, which I'm going to share in a bit, if you go to your calendar pane in Outlook, you now have a Meet Now. So what it means now, before now you have this Meet Now from when you move to any channels or you go to your calendar in Microsoft Teams. But right now in the Outlook, you have a Meet Now features which you can actually make use of. So one of the other things I want to talk about will be on the large gallery. The large gallery view. You can set up gallery, allows you to set up more faces than the standard 3x3. So you can have it, set up to 49. So actually, when we started this, when we're talking about this stuff, I also showed us how we can do the live meeting. If you can see this, you can see my screen. You can see the live. You can see from the together mode. You also have the large gallery preview even in the Microsoft Teams web app. You actually have the large gallery view. So with that, but now Microsoft has also introduced for you to have up to 49 users to be seen on the screen at once. So to illustrate that, I'm just going to play this video for you to see all of that. So what this does is that it's shipped in February 2021. Large gallery view now allows up to 49 meeting participants at a time, and then with the together mode on the Surface Hub. So this is beautiful because even on Surface Hub right now, you can have up to 49 meeting participants at a time, and even with the together mode. So now the next thing I'm going to talk about will be live captions with speaker attribution. Now, so Teams already provides live captions to follow along with what is being said. Now I can actually turn on this from my meeting. I can turn it on while my meeting is going, and I can turn on the start transcription and all of that. If this is, so I guess mine is turned up right now, so I can actually have this start transcription here. But then what Microsoft is now doing is that along with the speaker attribution, what you have right now is that you can actually specify who is really speaking. So to show you how that plays out, I'm going to be showing you this video. So you have audio also included.
Now when I turn on live captions, I can actually see who is speaking.
This is especially helpful when someone is presenting and you can't see the person talking.
That's great, right? Then so you
now when I turn on live captions.
Yes, you can actually see who is talking. And then the next thing again is that you have live transcription with speaker attribution also. So with these, you can actually have the video can show who is really talking at the same time. So the cool thing about the live transcription with speaker attribution is that, so for those participants who are deaf or hard of hearing or people with different level of language proficiency, you can actually have this turned on and then be able to, people can be able to follow up with you while the meeting is going on. So I'm going to just show you how that works.
During the meeting. So now I can read up on anything that has been said in the meeting, especially if I've missed something. Now Teams notifies all meeting participants that they're being transcribed, and just like live captions, you can see exactly what's being said and who said it.
Okay, that's great. So moving on to what is new in Microsoft Teams meeting, you have the live reaction right now. So one of the cool things you can see why it's going on is that you have the live reaction. You can actually make use of the live reaction, which actually in every meeting, I'm just going to show that real fast. And then I guess if you're following me, one of the cool things you can also do is to show the live reaction if you want. So you have the live reaction actually on this part of the window where you can show live reaction, like you can give me a thumbs up, you can clap, or you can smile while a meeting is going on. So that's one of the cool features if you have this already turned on. And this was released, it became generally available in February 2021, just this year. So you can actually turn the live reaction on, which is something, somewhere here. So if you are with me in this meeting, you can actually give me some live reaction so far. All right. Now, another cool feature is the new bypass lobby option. So you can have meeting policy settings to let user bypass the meeting lobby. So there is a new option today for that. So one of the ways you can find that option is that, so I'm just going to show you that real fast. So I have this meeting. So I have a meeting that is already set up, and then I want to show you the live meet, So all I need to do is to open this meeting for me to be able to turn it on. So if I go to my meeting options right now, it's going to open in, a web browser for me, and I can be able to see all of those options that I have. So you have by default, who can bypass the lobby is everyone. But now introduce, what you can do is this. You can actually select from this option, people in my organization or trusted organization. You can select any of this option right now to who can bypass the lobby. So this is a cool feature that just came shifting sometime in this year. So one of the new features that I launched is the new meeting, new bypass lobby option, sorry. So the next one is the breakout session. So I know a lot of us know about the breakout session. It's a cool feature in Microsoft Teams. The breakout sessions allows you to separate large groups into smaller discussion group for more focused collaboration actually. But now what happens is that, so I'm going to play something for you on the breakout session, but the cool thing that has come into that is rolling out right now, and then I'll wait till that's in when I get to the development session, the features that are in the development, is that you can actually put timer right now to breakout session, but I'll wait till we get to that session. So yes, the breakout session, the site, actually you can launch your breakout session from the menu. So let me just show you that in a bit. So remember that I actually showed us things like so I'm worried why I don't have this showed here probably. I hope there's not a policy from the Teams meeting, but let me just show you from the video actually. So with the breakout session, you have With the breakout session, what we have right now is that you can actually break meetings into smaller rooms, and then you can set participants to automatically or manually join those smaller rooms. So when you create your breakout session, you can rename them to what you feel, and then add participants into it with your preference, whatever you want, and then you can start all the rooms at once. And once that has ended, people can converge back to the general session. So that's what the breakout session looks like. And then you can come back to this. So that's what the attendee view looks like. This is what the attendee view looks like. And then you can come back to the moderated view when all of the session is has ended. So all that can happen is that you can join back to the main session after the breakout session has ended. Now, the cool thing that is coming to the breakout room is the timer. Now, organizer can now set timers for breakout room, for the breakout room settings. And then once this timer expires, the room automatically closes, because now you see that there is tendency for people when they're using the breakout room that people, get carried away and they don't remember to come back to the moderator's view or to the general view. So, but with the breakout room right now, you can actually set a timer. Now, once the timer expires, it comes back into the, you can come back to the general session. And the room assignment rotation can also be done, which allows you the ability to persist, to provide the ability for you to persist room configuration and assignment over multiple sessions. So that's the new thing that is coming out to Microsoft Teams. Now, again, you can collaborate securely in files. I think this is one of the features that are spoken in Microsoft 365 roadmap. And then, so I'm just going to skip this and then move forward. Now, another thing is the 20,000 attendee view broadcast. So with this actually applies to organizers of E3, E5, and A3 or A5 license actually. So until the end of June 2021, there can only be a 20,000 view only attendees. So beginning from 1st of July this year, you will have the number reduced to 10,000. And then what this does is that once that number reaches for anyone that is joining a meeting, the next set of people will be in the view only mode. So what the view only modes allows you to do is that you do not see, you can actually hear, you can hear in the broadcast, but you don't really appear as part of the participants in the meeting room. So you can actually hear what is going on, you can see what is going on, but it will just be a view only attendee. Now, another cool thing is the PreJoined experience. So I actually waited for this to happen. So today, if you want to join any meeting, so let's see if I can still display the meeting that I was having before. So if today I want to join any meeting, what I have today with the new meeting PreJoined experience is that I can actually decide what I want to, the way I look at, if it's cool enough for me to be able to go. I get the time to quickly adjust my hair or adjust my glasses if that's okay. Then I can actually decide to switch between my mic and the speaker that I'm using also, and then the what I want to use, a phone audio, and then the room audio. You can actually pick all of these settings with the new Teams meeting PreJoined experience. So if you've started using that, cool. But if you have not started using that, then I advise that you update your Microsoft Teams to the latest update. You should have that. Now, the other thing is the end of meeting notification. So I love this really because most times I get carried away while I'm in a meeting and I forget myself. I don't know that, okay, the timing and all of that, especially when you are when you are in a mode that you are not keeping tab with the time. So what Microsoft Teams end of meeting location does is that it tells you 5 minutes to the scheduled time of your meeting so that you can trigger of any form of scheduled private or channels meeting, and it will cause it, but this will not cause it to end automatically. But what it's going to do for you is actually it's going to notify you in 5 minutes that your meeting, you have about 5 minutes left in the meeting, and that can allow you to quickly wrap up with that session so that you can join another meeting if you have, or so that you can be aware of also the attendees time. So that's one of the cool things. Now, another thing we have is the meeting transfer and companion device. So what we have today is that end users can transfer meetings between mobile, desktop, web, and app. So I love these features a lot, So I get to if I'm walking around the house while I'm in a meeting, I get to with my phone, probably maybe I'm having a meeting on my desktop app. All I just need is that probably maybe I just pick my phone and then just do the transfer, and then if possible I can actually add the phone device to the meeting, which means I'm going to join without an audio on that device, and then while the other device is in the meeting. Or I can actually transfer every of the both audio and then whatever that is going on to the new device that I'm with, probably my phone. So this is a very cool feature, a new update. Also, if you do not have this, then that means you need to update your Microsoft Teams. All of these features that I've been talking about so far as the features that has been launched. So rolling out now, we're going to, like I said, rolling out our features that are being rolled out to applicable customers. And I mean applicable customer, probably maybe you have license that supports it, or you also have you're in the region that Microsoft is rolling it out gradually to different regions. So the first one, yes, I know you have dynamic view, but now you have dynamic view with focus. So what dynamic view automatically does is that it optimizes shared content and video participants in Teams meeting. Now it allows you to you have new controls that allows you to personalize the view to suit your preference and needs, such as the ability to show the shared content and specific participants side by side. So some of those features are the things we can actually make use of today. The traditional video meetings that people use every day, can also be more engaging and dynamic, and this is what the dynamic view is actually doing. So I'm actually going to allow us to see how this plays out. You can now highlight active speaker to help you know who is talking or trying to talk. Teams visually highlights active speaker in purple, and also highlights people with raised hand in yellow. So you can have optimized layout for sharing content, and then the dynamics gives you now more control over how you see shared content and how participants are in a meeting. Now, new controls include the ability for you to show shared content as specific participants side by side, like you can see. And then this lets you pin an interpreter or a presenter or even a key decision next to the content they are sharing in a more richer meeting experience. So if you do not have dynamic view right now, I think it is time for you to update, or for some of us we're having it, and because this role is being rolled out. For it is to have it yet, is in the rollout. The next thing in the rollout phase, the next thing in the rollout is the new lobby settings for only invited users. So for today, I have that, and then that also shows from what I showed you earlier, which means that I showed you earlier who can bypass the lobby, but now you have people who you invite alone. People you invite alone. So what the new lobby settings, new lobby only invited user join directly does is that once this setting is enabled, only the participants invited by the organizer in the meeting invite will be able to join the meeting directly. Everyone else will be sent to the lobby. So you can actually do this, and then the same settings that I showed you, if you go to your meetings options, you can actually have this enabled. Then the new other thing you have is the large gallery view and together mode for web meetings in Edge and Chrome browser, which is what I showed earlier. And then that's right now, like I said, I'm on my Chrome. I can actually have this. So this is an option I can actually have. Now you can see large gallery preview. I can toggle between this. If I toggle between the large gallery preview, I can actually have this change into, you know, with my team, this lovely team that I have here, we can actually have this, and then I can take it back to together mode.
Sorry for interruption, but we are seeing just the text.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I'm just gonna. Thank you. So let me see. Let me try to reshare that again. I guess that's the reason I did not want to use the. Okay, so I'm just gonna reshare my screen. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So that means all I've been saying since trying to show my second screen, you've not been seeing that. Oh, that's sad. All right, so if you look at this, I'm right now on my Chrome browser, and then so the new features I just described right now, you have the large gallery preview, and you also have the together mode. So I can actually switch in between this at any time. You know, I can decide to, right now they're in the large gallery preview, which can also take up to 49 attendees at once or view at once. And then I can go back to my together mode view, where I have all my colleagues, and then I can change the scene with the AI integration with it. I can actually change the scene to my preference. So that's some of the things. So I'm just going to try to go back to my slide. Sorry. So now you have the presenter view in Microsoft Teams. So I guess that was what I showed earlier. The new way you can share your Teams, your meeting right now, all you need to do is, so let's say I'm here right now. The new ways you can do your meeting right now is for you to come in here. If I share the meeting, so it's for you to come in here right now, share your meeting, and when you do, you go to your sharing tab, you can see the option actually for you to be able to do what? To share your meetings in the PowerPoint Live. So the presenter view, you can actually see, that was the view that I was earlier when the meeting started. So presenter view can actually allow you to do what? To view your slide notes and upcoming slides, so you can actually share in between it. And that probably maybe for any one of us, maybe after my session, I can also show that. Now, one of the other cool features I want to talk about is the attendees audio permission in Teams. Now, one of the cool things that has come to Teams right now is that you can actually manage your attendees audio. So you can actually, if you look at what has happened right now, every one of you can see that your audio is muted. And that's one of the cool features. So what this does for me, have you ever been in a meeting that you just have people coming in and then probably maybe they forgot to turn off their microphone, and then the next thing is that you get distracted? So when this particular feature came out, I was super excited about it. I said, finally, I can get to turn off people, and then I can manage, turn off the mic and turn off the microphone, and then I can specifically also turn on for specific people if I want. So very cool, right? So the next thing so I'm just going to show you how that works. So first of all, what you want to do is that you want to be able to do what? Now, the first thing is that once your meeting starts, you go to this ellipsis here, those three dots, and then you can say, don't allow attendees to unmute. I actually did it for my team that I'm showing, because I know there will be the tendency of them wanting to speak while that is going on. That can actually affect me. So you can actually do this. So the first thing is that to prevent unmuting, all you need to do is to disable all attendees' microphone at once. So when a meeting is going on, you just go to the participants pane, and then you look at those ellipses, and then you can say, don't allow attendees to unmute. The next thing is that once you do that, once that is done, once that is done, I'm just gonna try to see my stuff again. So once that is done, the next thing is that you can notice that all the attendees mic is what is muted. So attendees mic will appear dimmed. And I want to believe we all have that right now, because joining this meeting, that was actually enabled. So you might be wondering, okay, you cannot unmute, you can, and for specific people can also be unmuted if you want. Now, if you request to speak, really, what can happen is that if you request to speak, you can actually, with the raise of hand, indicate, and then the organizer of the meeting can actually mute for the specific user, or can also mute for you. So you can actually, the flexibility is there for you to be able to unmute for specific user, when you have everyone muted. Now, the next thing is that once that is done, if you want to unmute for everyone, if you want to unmute for everyone, you have the option also of allow to unmute. If you want the participant in question to be able to unmute himself at any time, you can do that. And then finally, if you want prevent unmuting again, you can do that for everyone. And then when the attendee has finished speaking, you can actually mute the attendee back, and then prevent him from also unmuting. So that's the cool features that is in Microsoft Things. And I guess a lot of us will appreciate this, especially when you are for teachers that have the options of probably maybe when you have students trying to talk at the same time, or to distract the class and all of that. So this is a very cool features that has just coming into Microsoft Teams. So going forward, I'm actually just going to spend a few minutes because of time on the features that are in development that are coming to Microsoft Teams. So first of all, you have now, what we have is to disable to disable participants, mic, but now you can actually disable or enable a single attendee's video. So if you look at the slide that I showed earlier, let's see if I can quickly go back to that. Now you see this option, you have allow camera for attendees. So this is actually still in development. You can actually turn it off for a single. So you can actually turn it off for single users, or you can actually turn it for individual users. So this is coming also into Microsoft Teams. So you have disable or enable single attendees video, and you can actually disable or enable all attendees video. Another cool thing that is in development that is coming is the live transcript in channels Teams meeting. So today you can actually do live transcript during a meeting, in a peer-to-peer meeting, or in a one-to-one meeting. You can actually do that. But now this is coming into channels Teams meeting. Again, another thing is that you can join a meeting with a digital coach. I love this because I think it is so easy for, I want to see how this plays out. I'm already imagining. So you can actually join a meeting using a digital code. So this is coming soon. Again, you can spotlight multiple users at the same time. So if your meeting starts today, if you remember the video I played, you can actually spotlight the speaker that is speaking, or probably maybe the content they're sharing. But right now you can spotlight multiple users. So I can show you how that plays out. I think I have today. So let's see if I go back to my large view. So right now, large gallery view. So I can actually select a user. I can spot out a user. Oh, sorry, this is web. So I have to do that, then I have to be on Teams really. So you can actually spot out a user. All you need to right click is that you can spot out that particular user. But for now, what is coming soon right now is that you can spotlight multiple users. That's what is in development, and then it's coming out. Again, moving forward, the next thing is that we can have together mode now for VDI. So for those people that are using virtual desktop infrastructure and all of that, this is a very cool feature. There's been a lot of improvements in Microsoft Teams with the virtual desktop infrastructure, the VDI, and this is coming again with a very cool thing that you can have together mode in it. And then lastly, you can present slides from PowerPoint app. Yes, I think I did a little bit of that with the PowerPoint Live. And some of these features are coming out. You can present slides from PowerPoint app also, and then all of that. So that brings me to the end of my session. I mean, I hope this has been helpful, and then that's given us a little bit of insight to what is coming to things. So I think I can take questions for now.
There are a couple of questions in the chat section, and there's an echo, so there's a comment here. Can you hear me well?
Okay, so I'm just going to turn on my,
I'm going to read some of the questions, but do you hear me well? Because there is a comment here that there is an echo during the speaking.
Okay. So one of the questions.
Okay, so
can you mute the camera of a participant in the meeting too? So that's good. Like I showed you. Hello. So I'm sorry, Gruana. So I'm taking the question if that's fine. So,
yes, of course. I'm
okay.
looking for the questions. So
right.
one of the questions is, when you mute all participants, it doesn't mute presenters. So I believe, okay, if you can cover this. I know that when you attend all of the attendees, and when you do a hard mute, they cannot unmute themselves, except the presenter has to click if there are a couple of presenters. But the presenter by himself doesn't get the unmute opportunity, the mute opportunity. Can you cover this question?
Okay, so sorry, I think I lost you there. I'm trying to see the question once again.
There is when you mute all participants, it doesn't mute the presenters, right?
Yes, it doesn't mute the presenter, because participants, you only mute the participant, not the presenters.
Yes. Okay.
So that's the answer to that.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Now, can you mute the camera off a participant in the meeting too?
That's a very cool one. So that's the one in development that I showed, that is still in development. Yes, Microsoft is bringing that in. You can actually mute videos also now, not only, I mean, the camera. So that is still in development.
Okay, there is one great question as well. Why should you turn off the send forward option just to prevent the lobby notifications? And what happens if the meetup join URL is shared?
So I want to believe when the URL is shared, also, because yes, that's question that came up. I want to believe when the URL is shared also, yes, let me share my screen again. Yes, if my screen is shared, so I want to show that features we're talking about. So what happened is this: when this is people that are turned, when people are invited, when you turn off allow forwarding in the meeting invite. So what happened is that when you share the URL, and then this is not turned off, definitely they will bypass. I don't know whether I answered that question.
So
the question is, if I get the question is,
the question is, what happens if you share the URL from the meeting?
So if you share the URL, the person will bypass if you do not turn off. That's why I bring this forward. If this is not turned off, allow forwarding in the meeting invite. If this is not turned off, if you can see my screen in the option, definitely the person is going to bypass it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If there are any unanswered questions, and if you as an attendees want to discuss more on this topic, we can bypass to the lobby, because we have just 10 more minutes until the next session. It's 9 actually.
Okay.
So if any...
I have a question here. Can you use browser together mode next to Teams app presenting slide and sharing desktop? So yes, because yes, you can use that, the together mode next to the Teams app presenting slide and sharing desktop. Yes, you can do that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. This was a very cool session. A lot of things we have covered.
Yes, and I do apologize because I think I have a few of glitches in my presentation during the sharing of the screen. I think it was because, but all in all, I guess I want to believe the information is well passed around, and then people can get it. So thank you all for attending. I'm really happy for everyone that joined the session, and then thank you so much, Gurana, for the moderating.
It was a pleasure. Thank you once again, and thank you to all the attendees for being here. And we have prepared a form which Chris has already posted a link to. So I'm going to post it once again into the chat. So please fulfill it, because the attendees' feedback means a lot to us. And thank you all, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the conference.
All right.
Have a great day.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.